All right, let's jump right in. We're on the verge of a totally new internet, one that's basically run by autonomous AI agents. But for these agents to really be on their own, to be truly autonomous, they need a way to pay for stuff. And that's what we're talking about today. X402, an open standard that's aiming to be the payment layer for this wild new world. AI is moving so fast, it's almost hard to keep up. These agents can do research, they can write code, they can manage really complex tasks. But even the most powerful ones have this one fundamental handicap, this single point of failure that keeps them tied to us humans. Any guesses what it is? It's actually ridiculously simple. They can't pay. That's it. Every single time an agent needs to access a paid API or grab a piece of data or use a little bit of computing power, it just hits a brick wall. And that wall is built for us with our credit card forms and our monthly subscriptions and our manual signups. And look, this isn't just some small inconvenience. This is AI's big money problem. It is a massive roadblock that's stopping these systems from becoming truly independent and reaching their full potential. I mean, without a native way to handle money, they're really just puppets waiting for a person to come along and pay the bill. Just think about what an independent agent actually needs to do its job. It might need to pull real-time stock data from an API, or maybe it has to spin up a server for some heavy-duty computation, or it needs to use some specialized third-party service to get a task done. Well, every single one of those actions costs money, and true autonomy means being able to pay for all of it on the fly without asking anyone for help. So you might be wondering, why can't they just use our current financial systems? Well, it's because those old payment rails, they were never, ever designed for machines. They were just bogged down with so much friction that they are completely useless for a high-speed, automated economy. Just take a look at a credit card transaction. You've got a fixed fee plus a percentage. The actual settlement can take days, and there's this huge risk of chargebacks. Now compare that to x402. When it's running on what's called a layer 2 blockchain like Base, which you can just think of as a super fast express lane built right on top of a main blockchain, the difference is staggering. The fees are tiny fractions of a penny. Settlement is pretty much instant, and chargeback risk? Gone. It's not even a question. It's a night and day difference. So here's the bottom line. Our old payment systems are just the wrong tool for this job. They're built for big, clunky, infrequent purchases made by humans. They are not built for millions of AI agents making tiny, split-second transactions. This friction is a wall. So how do we tear it down? Well, what if the solution wasn't some brand new, complicated thing? What if it was actually a really elegant idea that's been hiding in plain sight this whole time, right inside the internet's own instruction manual for decades? The number is 402. So in the language of the web, HTTP, you've got these status codes that tell your browser what's going on. We've all seen 404, not found. But 402 has always been reserved for something very specific, payment required. It's just been sitting there waiting for its moment. And now its moment has come. X402 is this new open standard that finally puts that code to work. It creates a simple, universal language for any machine on the internet to say, hey, you need to pay to get this, and for another machine to understand that and pay for it instantly. Okay, so that's the big, elegant idea. But how does an agent actually use this 402 thing to pay for something? Let's break down how it actually works. First, let's look at the absolute mess we have right now. For an agent to use a new service, a human being has to go in, create an account, get it approved, add a credit card, maybe buy a bunch of credits, and then deal with these fragile API keys. It's slow, it's not very secure, and it's totally impossible for an AI to do on its own. Now with X402, all of those painful manual steps just disappear. They become 3 simple automated actions. The agent asks for access, it gets the 402 bill, it pays it, and it gets the data. That's it. No accounts, no signups, no humans needed. So let's zoom in on that automated conversation. As you can see in this flow, it's pretty straightforward. The agent, the client, asks for something, the server says, sure, but you gotta pay, and sends back a 402 response. The agent then sends the payment directly to the blockchain. Once that's confirmed on-chain, which means it's public, it's verified, and it's final, the server gives it access. It's a completely trustless, automated handshake. So, to recap that elegant little dance, the agent makes a request, it gets the bill, it pays the bill, and it gets access. 4 simple steps, and the whole thing is handled by machines in milliseconds.
Now, this kind of efficiency doesn't just make things faster, it actually opens the door to entirely new ways of doing business. Specifically, it unlocks the world of true micropayments, letting us profitably buy and sell things for fractions of a cent.
For decades, high transaction fees have forced pretty much everything into a subscription model. You pay a flat fee for a newspaper or a streaming service, even if you only really wanted to read one article or watch one movie. X402 flips that completely on its head. Because the cost to transact is almost zero, you can pay for exactly what you use right when you use it.
And when we say micro, we mean it. An AI could buy a single real-time stock quote for 2 cents. You could read one article for a dime. An agent could pay half a cent to classify an image, or buy just a single minute of GPU time to think. This completely changes the economics of digital goods and services. And when you zoom out, you start to realize this is about way more than just a new way to pay for stuff. This is the financial foundation for an entirely new kind of economy, one that's driven by machines.
So welcome to the agentic economy. It's a world where autonomous agents can just operate freely. They can discover services they need, negotiate prices, and pay for resources to get their jobs done, all without any human oversight. X402 is basically building the railroad tracks for this new economy to run on.
This quote from the source material really just nails it. It's about getting rid of all that old-world friction, the accounts, the subscriptions, the invoices, and just replacing it with a single, seamless protocol that's built for machines. So if you're going to remember just a few things, let it be these. X402 means instant, dirt-cheap transactions. It gets rid of all the hassle. No more API keys, no more subscriptions. It's built from the ground up for AI and for developers. And maybe most importantly, it unlocks this huge new wave of pay-per-use business models. And that leaves us with one final, kind of mind-blowing question. For all of human history, economics has been a uniquely human thing. But if we give machines the ability to transact with each other freely, instantly, what are they going to build? What are they going to create?